gate. The light appearing. And they're racing all jumping very awkwardly, and it'll take no serious part is Sassy Onassis. Now, one of the first to get going is Stromy's Salute with Good Vibes also out smartly. They settle down in front of Special Street, then Dreamers Never Die, followed by King of France, and tailing out a long last after making a terrible mess of things at the start is Sassy Onassis. At the 550, and Stromy's Salute, who had pace to burn, leads the way from Good Vibes, who's rolled out off the fence. Special Street, therefore, shoved out 3 deep as they approach the turn, a length and a half behind them. Dreamers Never Die, who'll get the cutaway. Close handy as well as King of France. Into the home straight now, and as they went past the 350, it's the roughie over on the outside, Special Street, that went to Good Vibes. Down the outside, King of France, and right up against the rails now is Dreamers Never Die. At the 120, Dreamers Never Die scoots through on the rail. King of France is down the outside, but Dreamers Never Die doing too well for them, and under very soft hands from Pike Late. Dreamers Never Die. The Nakoni T-roll was too good here from King of France. Special Street ran a cheeky race at long odds for third from Good Vibes, followed then by Stromy's Salute, and it actually made up some ground on them, Sassy Onassis, after missing the kick by about 10, and I would hold all tickets until stewards inquire into what may have occurred there at the start in regards to that filly. Dreamers Never Die is the winner. Willie Pike. So they will be 3, 5 and 1 here after race 2. Not sure what's happened to Sassy Onassis there, but just seemed to lurch coming out of the gates. Missed it horribly, and it made up some ground on them late. But this was dominant against the inside. Dreamers Never Die. There was a good push around, and likewise the money indicated also that it would be hard to beat by Nakoni out of White Mouse. And raced by Jason Cheatham's Gold Light nominees, along with Jason Cheatham. Luke Fernie prepares. Willie Pike in the saddle. Quickly back in the winners list after the odds-on favourite, the 155 elect, got beaten with Pikey on board. Antique Miss in race 1. And just shot through along the cutaway to win from King of France, Clint Johnston Porter. Special Street at big odds. Michael Poy in third place. 3, 5, 1, 7 they are. 1 3/4, a length and a half. And 59.92, 34.46 the sectional. So the debutant, who hasn't been seen at the trials at all in this current campaign, went to the paddock after pulling up a little shin sore from all accounts back in January, and produced pretty forward, and nicely turned out by Luke Fernie here to win this second race for the day. King of France, the runner-up, is by Bondi from Fontainebleau, and Special Street's a Lucky Street, Cocoa Carrot gelding. Race number 3 on the card. The Kalgoorlie Boulder catch-up handicap over the 1,000 metres once again, and a field of 8 this time around. No changes as we head downstairs, and Britt to join us. And there was pretty high expectations of this 2-year-old son of Nakoni this afternoon stepping out for the first time.
Yeah, there was. The market certainly knew that he had plenty of ability. Luke Fernie joins me now. You trialled him back in January and elected not to go to the trials again this time in. Talk us through that decision.
He's pretty push button. Yeah, he's a nice enough horse. He's got a good head on his shoulders, so I didn't think the trial was necessary. We put him through at home, and he handled it well, and his work at home suggests he'd take something pretty smart to beat him, and it showed that today.
What were your thoughts during the run? Were you just waiting for that cutaway?
Yeah, I was, and I remembered last week the rail was off a little bit, so I always had that in the back of my mind, but I was pretty happy when Willie was letting him find his feet, and he went through his gears good, and he let down well.
What sort of future does he have?
I don't know. I don't know how much he's raced today, but we'll have to step him up against some better quality and see what he's got underneath the hood.
Any old time later in the day, a chance?
Hopefully, if she doesn't stand in the gates and miss it by 4 or 5 again, we should be some hope.
Well done on the win.
Thank you.
There is Luke Fernie, Dreamers Never Die, victorious here on debut. And Scott, you were saying that owners are sitting there in Greece watching this on a live stream.
Well, exactly. Matt Rigby's a good old-fashioned battler. He's in the mounting yard here at Belmont Park on a Wednesday, but Jason Cheatham, the other half of Gold Light nominees, is watching on a live stream, I'm told, in Greece. So no doubt the ouzo will flow for the rest of the night over there. Sort of a from where you'd rather be moment, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Nothing wrong with being here at Belmont on a Wednesday, but let's be honest, if given the choice, I would like to be kicking back in Greece with the Euros.
Well, I was just having a chat to Matt. So this is, as we saw pre-race when we were looking through some of the sales results, Britt, one that they bought as a weanling and tried to pinhook and then was passed in at the sales. So in the end, back home it goes. And now Willie Pike is jumping off the scales, and then we'll have a word with him. Willie, on debut here today, didn't have a trial coming into it. We're going to go with a wide shot today. How did he handle the experience?
Yeah, quite okay. He's still very raw, which I suppose adds to the merit of the win. There's some more ability there that's been untapped. What can I say? He did it a little bit upside down, but did it really well. A little bit slow away, a little bit shy inside them, but knew his job. Once he seen daylight, he said, "Oh, I know what I'm doing."
I've been waiting 2 weeks to ask someone when they actually win up the cutaway. It looks as though at the top of the straight, it takes a while, like a few strides before you straighten, that the cutaway actually appears.
Yeah, I'm unsure who allows, what the regulations are or what's allowed to happen there, but it definitely feels very late for today's circumstances, and I suppose that's why it's hard to utilise it.
Best of luck for the rest.
Thank you.
There is William Pike, and it is Dreamers Never Die who wins on debut, takes out race number 2 for Luke Fernie.